Hey guys, today's video I'm going to show you how I find my fishing locations. I use a combination of Google Maps, topographic maps, Google Earth, and DNR resources that are supplied to me by the state. Alright, so I'm going to show you the resources that I use. So when I say I use topographic maps, I use topographic maps to help me find uh, the, the creeks and rivers because they show up better in on a topographic map than they do in Google Maps. So Google Map, come out of here quick. In a Google Map, you click on regular map and you zoom out to about where I am on that map. This is what you see. So you see the big main river and then little offshoots, and you'll see the lakes and stuff like that. But on here, like if I want to fish a river, um, I know that I'm going to be able to see all of that water that I'm going to be able to fish. So like for example, um, right here, this is the portage. These are the portage, the different fingers of the portage. So I know that there's a bunch of places that I can fish along these fingers and sections that do not show up on Google Maps. See, they do not show up. And even on Google Earth, even if I highlight the water body outlines, they do not show up. I know for a fact because they are right in this area. So that's why I like to use a topographic map for that reason. So now let's say I know that I want to fish the Maumee River. So come back into my Google Earth, and I know the Maumee River is right here. I'm going to click out of the water thing, and I'm going to click on Parks and Rec area because those are going to be public access points for us, for either putting in public boat access, um, places that you can get into the water, parks and stuff like that. So for example, this is Providence Park. Right over here is Mary Jane Thurston. So this is the dam. A lot of people fish this dam. So now everyone knows on Google Earth that you have the aging system. So the aging system allows you to see how a body of water has transitioned over time, how things have worn away, and how you can see things in different seasons of the year. So what I do is I know this one is 2015. So this is the dam right here. And now with the water being low, I found a time when the water can be low. I can actually see the holes, the deeper holes in the river that we are able to fish. So I know that I have fished this dam hundreds of times. So I know like this section right here is 2 to 3 foot deep. This part right here runs about 4 foot deep, and then this hole right here is about 8 foot deep. And so that helps me if I was a beginner using Google Earth, I'd be able to say, okay, I know where these holes are now. If the water is at a higher level, I can walk out there and I'll be able to find, I'll be able to, what's the word? I'll be able to know where the hole is without walking into it. And if you're wearing waders or you're not wearing waders and you have like an electronic on you and you slip into that hole, and you don't want to like lose your electronics that are like in your pocket or something like that. So now that you know, like I said, that 2015 the river was low, why not do the rest of the river so you can see the holes in the rest of the river? Like for example, another good place for us to fish, that's Van Tassel, is Otsego Park. So here you can see the shelf at Otsego Park. The two islands out here has the labels on them. So now you can see where the little islands are out there and the shelf. Same thing. I mean, the Maumee River is famous for the walleye run. So they're usually not coming up this far. There's resident walleye, but as you can see, you can see where the shelf ends and where the hole begins and the water gets deep again. So that's what I like to do for that. Now, when I'm looking for a lake to find, what I do is I go to the DNR website. They have a wildlife website and a coastal website. The wildlife website has the different lakes that and reservoirs that the state owns for public access. So this lake right here has just the pinpoints, so you get directions or the website for that lake. So I'm gonna click on Oxbow Lake. So Oxbow shows up and shows me the contour, the parking spots, the boat ramp, restrooms, and other amenities that are there. So and then if I click on that, I get a bigger map. So now, if I want to, you can click on an interactive map. So basically, these points show up in this style of map. So now I'm able to just zoom in on Oxbow Lake. So now I know where Oxbow Lake is, if I wanted to utilize this. So now this is going to show me the contours as well. So now I know where the contours is. 6 foot most of the lake, 2-3 footer on the sides. So now I can go to Google Earth, come up in here, type in Oxbow Lake Wildlife Area, search, and it's going to take me straight to Oxbow Lake. And now I can do the same thing that I did with the river, and a lot of people do with, ponds, because it's important to know the age of a pond or how a pond or lake looks at a certain time of year, age it. So click on the different timestamps that you have. Obviously, the newer the better, but hopefully you find one that actually separates things. As we've seen from the contour lines, that most of the lake runs at 6 foot deep, so you don't have to worry about it. But being here personally before, I know over here in this 2 to 3 foot section, right from this south side over to this west northwest side, there's a lot of stumps in that area, but obviously they do not show up on this map. So that's what I like to do for that. Now, like I mentioned, there's a coastal website. The coastal website for Ohio. They have all the parks and boat access points along the lake counties. So basically, if you click on these counties, it gives you a PDF to click on. You click on that PDF, and it gives you these spots layered down, and it tells you what amenities they have. If there's a boat ramp, if you can fish, if there's geocaching, and everything, stuff like that there. So I always look for the ones that have the boat access, because I love to fish Lake Erie and the little bodies of water around Lake Erie. They have one for the river as well. I don't know if I can even find it on here, but what I did is all these the GIS, the lake database, the river database. What I did is I created them all. I took it all and put it into my own website. So, like right here, Maumee River. Basically, it highlights the Maumee River, and as I scroll through it, if it loads, here it goes. It's going to give me all the parks with like I said, with the amenities, and if there's boat access and all that other kind of stuff there. So I utilize this website a lot, but that's just me, because I created this website basically as a database for myself. Like I said, I did it with the Lake Erie access, all those counties, and I also did it with the lake database. So the lake database, I went through each district, every lake that you've seen on that map, put where it was, so the lat and long, what kind of motor is basically allowed on that lake, and then the fish that you find in that lake. So that helps me too. I did start the state parks and the wildlife areas, but it became too much, so I just stopped for right now. But yeah, those are the resources that I utilize, and I hope that you guys find this information helpful with the topography, and then the Google Earth, and then utilizing the Google Maps to help just to get you to your locations afterwards. So thanks for watching, and you guys have a good night.